الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفر ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. We're here again on part 2 of the same lesson where we're responding to a question, not a question, a statement on the internet, on YouTube, from Arabic class number 2, part 3, where it was stating again that I'm afraid the brother has made a mistake. In Arabic, the verb does not have 36 scales or shapes. The brother might be referring to the patterns of broken plurals. Most advanced works on grammar mention up to 15 forms of verb patterns, forms 11 to 15, as well as form 9 being extremely rare. Nevertheless, Allah reward the brother for his enthusiasm and sincere efforts. Ameen. So we're dealing with that question again. We already mentioned 18 forms, and only one of those, maybe, see, the thing about it, people, is that the Arabic forms are only rare if you don't talk Arabic. Okay? If you speak Arabic, they are not rare. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah. Kayf halak? Alhamdulillah. So, you know, it would be weird to anyone, because you got to remember, these Orientalists, they're only going, if you read their histories, they tell you they went to the Arab lands for a long time, or for this amount, they spent a year or 2 or 3 years or 5 years, and they were missing, you know, their countries. And so they were there, sent over there to do service, learn this language, and take it back to whoever they were taking it back, the great Duke of Marmaduke, or whatever the thing was. I was reading, one of them was saying that. What does this one say? From the German of Caspar, translated from the German of Caspari and edited with numerous additions and corrections by W. Wright, LLD. This is how the Masons put their names. Late professor of Arabic in the University of Cambridge, okay, and the University of Leiden. And this, like I said, this is a grammar. This one was written in 1896. Okay, this is when he did this. Okay, and this is mostly, and they always point to Hebrew or German, and that's what their emphasis on the language is. Our thing is not to take from them. We don't learn from them. We learn from our scholars, and we have works written down that explain each and every verb form, and they make it very clear in children's books. The book I'm referring to now is called Al-Bina. Al-Bina is a few pages. I copied it today just so somebody wanted to see it. It's really small. This is Matan Al-Bina, and it's from the book of the Mutun al-Ilmiya. It's a book which has texts that the scholars and the students of the scholars have to use. These are the texts, the classics that we use to gauge each other. Someone says that he's a scholar of Arabic, he has to have studied Al-Bina. It's one of the first things he would have to do. And then the first chapter, I don't know if you can get all of this up here. The first chapter, not even chapter, the first sentence, it says, "I'lam, no, أن أبواب التصريف 35 بابا." That the chapters, the scales of Arabic tasrif, you know, declination of or showing the different types of verbs, are 35. 6 of them are naked. I say 7 of them are naked. 7 of them are naked verbs. I mentioned the way I set those verbs up are the 7 naked verbs first, because fa'ila yaf'ilu is its own scale. So in this book, he doesn't count it as its own scale. Okay? So, and then we put fa'ala as the 7th scale. So here we have it like that. Now we're on 18. And let me show you how many pages this thing is. It's 1 page, 2 page, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the last page, 7. That's it. Real short. And all it teaches you are these. And the last chapter is the 36th chapter. And it's broken down. Here it goes. It's broken down. This second chapter, it breaks down the tasrif in another format. Okay? So that's the chapter that I refer to all the time. That's that. It's real simple. So like he said, on those advanced books of who? Not Muslim scholars. Because in the advanced books of the Muslim scholars, you get to scales like Lamiyat al-Af'al. And the first chapter explains, the first line in the poem, when it says, بِفَعْلَ لَا فِعْلُ ذُو التَّجْرِيدِ أَوْ فَعُلَ يَأْتِي وَمَكْسُورَ عَيْنٍ أَوْ عَلَى فَعْلَ. That's the first line. It just describes 6 different types of verbs. It said, بِفَعْلَ لَا. That's the 7th one I showed you. بِفَعْلَ لَا فِعْلُ ذُو تَجْرِيد. A فِعْلٌ ذُو تَجْرِيد. This means a naked verb. A naked verb. بِفَعْلَ لَا فِعْلُ ذُو التَّجْرِيدِ أَوْ فَعْلَ. So a naked verb comes بِفَعْلَ لَا أو فَعُلَ. Right? With the dhamma. أو مكسور عين. The مكسور عين means it has a kasra on the عين. أو على فعل. Boom. Now فعل, it comes in 3 ways. فعل يفعل. Somebody turn off their phone, please. And فعل يفعل. And فعل يفعل. And we mentioned the examples. فعل يفعل كنصر ينصر. فعل يفعل كفتح يفتح. فعل يفعل كضرب يضرب. These are all different scales. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We start there. The Mustashrikeen in their books, they list 15. They count fa'ila as 1. That's their first mistake. Then they don't even count fa'ula or fa'ila. They count all of this and think it's fa'ula. Fa'ala. What you do when you start to research, see, you don't use them as an asl. You don't use them as a foundation. But you go to see, well, where was this guy confused? These people are confused. You know, they're poor students. We pointed that out when we look at some of the Greek writings that they did in antiquity. Very poor that they took from the people that they took them from, the Arabs of old. So now we start this off understanding, in one line of poetry, it blows all that away. بِفَعْلَ فِعْلُ ذُو التَّجْرِيدِ أَوْ فَعُلَ يَأْتِي بِمَكْسُورٍ عَيْنٍ أَوْ عَلَى فَعَلَ. And the reason why he started this way in the first line, because fa'lala is easy. Fa'lala. Jalbaba. You know this word. Jilbab comes from this root. Then you say fa'ula. Why? Because fa'ula only comes yaf'ulu. There's nothing changed about that. Then it goes stair step to fa'ila. Maksur and ain. Why does it go fa'ila next? Because this is one scale. This is one scale. This is 2 scales. Because it goes fa'ila yaf'alu. Right? And it goes fa'ila yaf'ilu. Right? So fa'ila yaf'alu ka'alima ya'lamu. Right? Alima ya'lamu. And then it goes fa'ila yaf'ilu kawathiqa yathiqu. Wathiqa yathiqu. Or hasiba yahsibu. Min ihsib ma' wagirta. Wagira yagiru. Na'ima ya'nimu. Wahirta. Wahira yahiru. And those words that come like that. So here we number this, then he goes to fa'ala. Because now you learned 1, now you learned 2, and now you're going to learn 3. So you're ready for this 3 changes. And that's how he gets it started. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 types right there. 8 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. Alhamdulillah. I'm not good with math. Huh?
On one line.
On one line of poetry. Then it explains those in the next coming verse, and then we get to this other. That's lamiyat al-af'al. We're not even there yet. We're doing al-bina. Al-bina is studied during the afternoon. You read it in an afternoon. But when we sit down and study in the traditional way, you sit there and you study, let's say from Asr to Isha. And by the time Isha comes, you say, oh, I get it. So it's really a lot of hours that you're putting in there to get to the point. So could you erase this board for me, please? And let's get on. We're going to do 18. We got 35 to do. And then for a treat, what I wanted to do is I was going to do a review of all the signs and symbols in the Quran. Just because we're going into Ramadan, you can use the CD, the base, and wonder if you ever thought, while you're reading Quran, you say, okay, I want to remember what that was, what that meant. We put it down. So let's go fast. And like I said, I expect you to rewind. That's cool. Rub it hard so I don't mess up my pens. Alhamdulillah.